my lovelies. So the weather's just changed. It's gone a bit cloudy. It was really sunny. We're going to do a message from the ravens. Now this is all focused on the heart space. It's focused on union soulmates, but what we need to be aware of is that obviously the work is always done on the inside first, and the kind of relationships that we attract to us are a mirror of something in us. And these readings, you know, I'm not a fortune teller. These readings are energetic. These readings are to give us the highest timeline at the moment, to put us in alignment with what it is that we need to know. Now, the readings will also give us a little insight on what kind of connection it's focusing on with some cards that I made. So we have soulmates. We come in groups of 7 soulmates. There's lots of different ideas about what a soulmate might mean. When we come back with 7 soulmates, and they're not all romantic, but it can get confusing when you think it's romantic and then you find out that it's a past life and stuff needed clearing out. I've met quite a few in my lifetime. You have twin flames, which is obviously triggering each other, and not necessarily together, but for spiritual growth. They seem to go through the same life experiences, possibly at the same time, possibly at a different time. There's a very higher connection in the subconscious. You've got past lives, and then obviously you've got the romance that we encounter on a day-to-day. But a lot of us are here clearing out. It's like the last rodeo. Clear out to make us lighter so that we can move into this new frequency. So I'm going to go ahead and ask for protection of the highest level, messages from the ravens for the collective in the heart chakra romance energy, with the opportunities that we've got at the moment. What's the feel? So we've got the page of swords, the king, bear with me, the knight of swords. The knight of swords is either a knight coming in very fast. Swords represent the mind space, but it's clarity. So there could be news coming in that is like brings clarity to a situation. He's got one raven in his hand, he's got the sword in the other. He's on a white horse. To me, that would suggest somebody who you know, has done some shadow work and has mastered it, coming in on a white horse. That would be the turning the shadow into light. But it's normally clarity up here, so there's news. It's on its way in, and it's definitely a knight. Knight of Swords. At the bottom of the deck we've got the Knight of Cups. So that could be a romantic, and there's the full moon. It could be a romantic gesture coming in. The Knight of Cups is always the beginning of, it could be news, an invitation. He's holding out that cup, so he's got an offering. He's offering something. But knights always represent the beginning of. So if you think of knights as being quite youthful, yeah, if you think of knights as being quite youthful, it's the beginning of something. So that's bottom of the deck. Now we're going to get a little more on this. I would say he's a page. So if that's the knights, that's the knights. He's the page of swords. It's a bit confusing because they've put a horse as a representative of the suit. But they're not kings, so they're not masters in their element, but there is like news coming in and a cup coming in as well. So that could be an invitation, but it's an offering. Now, where is the connection? Is this outer work, inner work? It feels like it's outer work. It feels like there's clarification coming in around something. It's the swords is always like a new way of thinking or a new thought process or news. Something that could change your mind. Now we've got the twin flame energy. Oh, so we're still in this twin flame energy with the butterfly as well. So I don't know if you remember, if you watched the last one, but there was like some shadow work to be done in the background with these skeletons, and they're doing the dance. There's the two flames on the floor. They're doing the dance, but they're not actually touching each other. So it's I move, you move, I trigger you, you trigger me, that kind of thing. It's all for, in the end, it's all for enlightenment. It's all for spiritual growth. But there's some wings that have grown. So there's been a period of being in the cocoon stage, and the roses and the flowers represent this enlightenment that's coming from this connection. So there's some kind of clarity, change of mind in that connection. So it's exactly the same as the other day, but we'll have a look and see. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles at the bottom, and this could be closing out old flames. So it's about clearing up your mess, if you like. We can't expect to have a 100% soul connection if we're still carrying baggage or people or energetic fields in our heart space. And sometimes that 5 of candles is about old flames. So I'm going to stick with that. We're going to ask the romance angels. Connection's good. We're going to ask the romance angels for a little more on this page of swords, Knight of Cups. There's a full moon in the background as well. So somebody has just emerged with these new set of wings coming out of something. Flirt. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. So that is really like flirting. Have you ever watched 2 butterflies doing a dance together? New love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So that could be this invitation that's coming in. This cup, I've got this cup, I'm offering this cup. So yeah, as I was saying, have you ever seen 2 butterflies doing their dance? The way that they move with each other is very much like this twin flame energy. It's magnetic. It can be a little bit polar opposite, but it's magnetic. They're both doing the dance, and when I get this flat, extend your light-hearted energy to others. It's like it's asking you to be this butterfly and have a little flirt, have a little dance, see what's there. It's also about getting into that kind of childhood state. And what did we have at the bottom of the deck? New love. So something, there's definitely a cup coming in. I'm going to go back to the ravens. Here comes the rain. Here comes the rain again, falling on my head like a memory, falling on my head like a new emotion. Some of them want to use you, some of them want to get used by you. Yeah, that's I don't know where that came from. But it came out. So we have the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is falling in love. This is a heart chakra activation. It's a boom. But it's always, like I say, it's always, we have to go back to ourselves. We have to fall in love with ourselves first. We have to love every part of ourselves first before we can even begin to attract somebody who's going to love those parts of us too. So we've got the Ace of Cups, we've got new love, and we've got flirt. Now we've got the Two of Pentacles and the full moon as well. So the Two of Pentacles is going back and forth on a decision, or maybe having two choices. So there could be two options here. He's got them out in his hands, he's weighing them up. He's probably just now what else have we got? The Ace of Wands. It's snowing. I said it was going to fucking snow. Sorry for swearing, but it's snowing. Oh, it'll be 22 degrees tomorrow. So we've got the Two of Pentacles, and it's like juggling two ideas. But when we're looking at it romantically, it's it could be two offerings. So I'm going to leave that down there. Now the Ace of Wands is, I've gone in, I've done my shadow work, I've looked at my skeletons in the closet, and I've come back out with this Ace of Wands. Now the Wands is like magic. The Wands is a form of healing. It's transitioning, what's the word, you know, oh, it's gone. It's because I'm too busy looking at the snow. So it is that alchemizing the shadow into a set of wings. And this is obviously that same twin flame connection where they're not afraid of looking at those skeletons in the closet, or in fact clearing out those past flames. So Ace of Wands, and it's a fire energy, so it's quite sexual. It's like, whoo, you know, and it would create this flirtatious energy as well. It's like I've got this wand. So what have we got on the bottom of, we've got the Knight of Swords, Page of Swords. That was again, that has just fallen out at the bottom again. So that was at the bottom earlier. So there is some kind of new information or news, clarification that is going to come in with a wand, with a cup, with an offering. Then this is the twin flame connection we're still looking at. It's the same as the other day. I don't know why Okay, so we've got the King of Pentacles. Now, the King of Pentacles has worked hard to get his position in the world. He has done the groundwork. He's got enough money to live. He's got his own place. Do you know what I mean? He's very grounded. He's not, he's trustworthy. What he says, he does on the tin. He's, he wants to make sure everybody's okay. He's got like father energy, grandfather energy, and he's secure. He's secure in himself. His root chakra is well balanced, and he wants to make sure everybody around him is in the same position as well. And that fell out with the moon. Of course it did. So with the moon, we've got these two ravens underneath, but the moon energy again is like bringing these emotions up to the surface so we can clear them out. It's illuminating. It can be a bit, you know, they say people turn into lunatics, but that's only if you've got stuff that's purging out that is a little bit uncontrollable. So we've got the moon energy, we've got the moon twice, we've got the Ace of Cups, we've got flirt, new love, closing out the past flames, and doing the shadow work. And the moon, obviously, you know, is divine feminine energy. Three of Wands at the bottom. So Three of Wands is waiting for your ships to come in. So this could be something that you've actually manifested or has been going on. He's standing there patiently waiting for this arrival. And then the Two of Cups underneath that. So it's definitely union in the air. Now I want some feedback with all this. Does anyone else know what I'm talking about? We're gonna go to the guardian angels and see what we get with that. This is in my way a little bit, but we're still on that twin flame connection. That fell out on the butterfly. You may be called upon to be a spokesperson for a cause close to your heart. Your angels will give you the perfect words and you'll do brilliantly. You may be asked to be a mentor or find one yourself. This situation involves someone who's professional with a positive attitude and fresh ideas. This person could be you, maybe emotionally unavailable. So that fell out on underneath the King of Pentacles and the wings. This person could be you, may be emotionally unavailable. So that's somebody who is busy working at their coin. That's what it says to me. When someone's emotionally unavailable, it's because they're in their headspace. It's because they're busy doing the groundwork. A lot of people think, oh, you know, I need this in order for me to have, you know, a decent relationship, and actually it is emotionally bypassing commitment. But that's what that says to me. It's like we've got the King of Pentacles here, but he's worked so hard in creating the groundwork. He's got his, you know, his focus is definitely on the abundance, the material, that he may be emotionally unavailable. And also because there's a set of wings that have just grown. So it's like I'm not really interested in that kind of emotional connection at the moment because I'm doing this work. Underneath we've got inner strength. You have great courage and kindness. You may not realize how strong and powerful you are, but there's no problem you can't solve. The compassion you give so freely to others must also be given to yourself. Stand strong in your convictions if the right answer to tell somebody is no. And that's 11. So that's what I'm saying about these old flames. And again, we've got a lot of planets in retrograde. So You may have some coming back up, you know, wanting to come back round again because of, I think it's Venus is actually in retrograde. And it's important that we know our worth, we know how strong we are, and you know, no is just a no. You don't have to give an explanation of why you need to say no. I don't know why people feel the need to, you know, go right into explaining themselves when no is a no. That's where we're at. 9 of emotion underneath. Let's see if we can get some more. So again, that could be the skeletons in the closet coming back round. That fell out again on the King of Pentacles. Strangely, it's the 3 of action, which is the 3 of wands. Where is it? It's gone. But the 3 of waiting for our ships to come in. So as you can see, he has actually got a ship in his hand. This is something he's waited quite a long time for. Things are working out beautifully now that your ship has come in. It's time to decide what your next big project will be. So that's almost like the 2 of Pentacles. Where do I go from here? What decision do I make? It's all about finding whatever it is that's more in alignment with who you are. You may choose to continue to build upon your success, which is what the King of Pentacles is doing, or move on to something entirely different. Be willing to travel if necessary. So, you know, this offering that comes in, well, especially with the knight on the horse, could be an invitation, and also the Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, could be an invitation asking you to go somewhere. But this is all about things coming in. Your ship has come in. That is the 3 of Wands. And then 5 of action. Your angels want you to know that your current challenges pushes you to be more assertive and self-confidence. Be willing to stand up for yourself and defend your position. You have the right to excuse yourself from those who bring drama into your life. So again, you know, this is that there are little bits of, because we don't have to accept every cup that's offered to us. We have to, you know, do the groundwork, and that's what the King of Cups does. Is the groundwork is trustworthy. He does what he says on the tin, and that's very important and fundamental for any relationship, that it is based on trust. Does what he says on the tin, or she says on the tin, either or. But this is definitely coming in around this full moon. Now I'm going to use the Psychic Tarot just to see. So there's inner strength here, and again, no is a no. If it's not for you, disruption. That fell out on flirt. The Ace of Cups. No, yeah, the Ace of Cups and this Knight of Swords. Disruption. So something is being broken down here. Something isn't as it was, or it's being disrupted so that it can rebuild. It almost looks like the Tower. It's a number 16, which is 7. And there's a lot of green at the bottom, but can you see how he's in the middle on his heart chakra? He's actually handcuffed across his heart. I don't know, let me have a look on the way down. So I'm not quite sure what's going on around his belly, but that's really, you know, really sort of hit me that he is actually handcuffed here. It's almost, it's guarded. And now that could be what has needed to have broken down in order for this heart chakra, Ace of Cups activation to take place. Underneath this moon, it fell out on flirt and inner strength. So it's either something that we need to work on ourselves, where it may be possibly be a bit too guarded, because that definitely is, I'm guarding my heart, and it would take a heart chakra activation in order to dismantle that. It is a little bit, it's old wounds, and it will take inner strength to open up again. So partnership and alliances fell on the guardian of thought. So that's bringing, it's three things together. Now when I look at the card, I see blue and I see pink. So blue is the throat chakra. 3 is obviously bringing things together, 3 people, but this is definitely hand in hand. I'm going to show you in a minute. One's wearing a bracelet. There's a pink flag and a blue flag. There's no red flags. So the blue flag represents obviously communication and protection, and the pink flag represents heart chakra, you know, love. So there is some kind of partnership that is, and then you've got the green and the yellow. So the green is obviously the heart chakra. So that is like the throat chakra and the heart chakra. And then it's combined with the solar plexus, which is the yellow, and the pink, which is obviously the heart chakra as well. So partnerships and alliances are on the cards. And victory and success, number 6. Number 6. It's that time in the spotlight. It's that I've overcome something. Something's had to disrupt, you know, I need breaking free of these chains across my heart, but it's news. This sword is the truth, news coming in. So you're either going to receive it, hear it, and it may be that King of Pentacles is the one, because like I said, these aren't just reflective of what goes on outside of us. How are we doing for signal? These aren't, it's not just reflective of what's going on outside of us, but that could be reflective of something on the inside. You may not be emotionally available at the moment. Again, the 7 of Cups. So the 7 of Cups is like, it's daydreaming, it's manifesting energy, but it's also having a lot of choices. So it could be 7 invitations. It could be what fills my 7 of Cups, but it is almost, it's manifesting energy and it's choices. There are a number of choices to make, and it's about deciding, you know, what ticks my cups, what ticks my boxes. Is there, I do what I say on the tin. It's grounded in, you know, earthly attributes. So I don't want to say money. It doesn't need to be somebody who's rich, but it just needs to be somebody who's loyal, and slow, steady progress in reaching that King of Pentacles. Choices to be made, and again with the 2 of Pentacles, that again, that's balancing something out, making a decision, or going back and forth on a decision. It could be head space, heart space. But normally with the Two of Pentacles, something's got to give. Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords fell out on the butterfly. So that could be what, obviously, what needed clearing out. That could be the shadow work of growing new wings, going into the dark, seeing where is there lingering in the background old wounds that I haven't actually healed, that need healing. That's Three of Swords energy. I've got to go in. We cannot expect to have this union of sorts if we're still carrying past hurts and traumas from, you know, this lifetime and past lives. I'm going to wrap this up in a minute. If you could give me some feedback, that would be great. Let me know your stories. Three of Swords. And so the Six of Pentacles fell out on the Three of Swords. So there could have been imbalance. The Six of Pentacles is giving and receiving. Hi, Dee Dee. Is that Dee Dee? No. Sorry. Giving and receiving in equal measure. Now, when we're looking at it romantically, it's got to be equal. If there's any imbalance, if somebody's more open and receptive and somebody is emotionally unavailable, that's not going to work. If somebody is constantly giving and one person's obviously taking, that's not going to work. This is equal giving and receiving, but it could also be gifts coming in as well. So the Six of Pentacles can actually be, you know, physical gifts of Ace of Cups, love, friendship, but mostly it's about it being equal in receiving and giving energetically. And then the bottom of the deck, what is that? I think that might be, I don't know if it's the Lovers or the Devil. I think it's the Devil because he's got some horns on. So again, that's shadow work. That's cutting those chains, cutting those ties, whether that be codependencies, ex-partners. It's releasing, it's becoming free of. And the Devil can also be distractions as well. So if somebody's very I've got to make money, I'm gonna, you know, work on my coin, that they would see that as a distraction. It's putting them off course. But we have to remember also that the Devil energy, even though I don't know why they could have renamed it something, without that sexual chemistry, which is like the Devil energy, we wouldn't have co-creation. They're naked and on the floor. So without that Ra, is it called? We wouldn't actually have, people wouldn't have babies. It's that sexual energy, that flirtation. I'm going to, I'll just go back to the romance and then we'll close with a rose, I think, if I can find them. So this is still the twin flame energy. There's some clarity coming in. There's some aha or actual news coming forward with this. There's a heart activation under the full moon, and there's deception. So someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship. Now, deception might, like when we look at deception, we always think, oh, you know, that's cheating. It's not necessarily deception as in not being honest. This is wearing masks, trying to pretend, trying to cover up. So it doesn't necessarily mean third party or not being honest, but it's about being honest with yourself. We only really, I guess we kind of attract deceptive people around us, or we end up in situations which aren't healthy, because we've not taken any notice of the red flags. And there'll be an element in us which we've deceived ourselves. We thought it was something that it wasn't. So that is it is we're in this age where masks have got to be dropped off. We need to get being in more authentic, straight from the heart. This is how I feel. And again, that's the disruption. He's got his hand chained over his heart space. Is it disruption? Yeah, his hands are chained over his heart space because he's emotionally unavailable, or she. It's an energy of being emotionally unavailable, which they could actually, whether this be male or female, be deceiving themselves about that. This could, the deception could actually be, do you know what? I'm all right, Jack. That's a lie. That's a mask. That is protection of the heart space through heartache, through being hurt. And that's coming down. So this moon is definitely a period of enlightenment, bringing stuff to the surface, showing it up, and then obviously the masks have to drop. I'm going to leave it there. I love you lots. Let me know your thoughts on it all.